What's going on, Dragon Ball fam? Here with your champion, my boy Legends. Bought it with his deck. He called it in the team chat, so he's gonna bring it with the one and only. What deck, man?
Bro, it's Invoker, you know it.
Oh snap, bro. All right, bro, let's get into it. Talk about your tournament and all that good stuff.
Man, this tournament is supposed to be really fun. Round 1 I played against Baby. There's no control deck in the game that beats this deck, so that was a wash. They slapped that deck, and then we went to round 2. I played against my good friend Andrew Duvall. He wasn't feeling too good today. He was feeling the weather, so he dropped out of the way, gave me that win to move on. Then I played against my teammate Eddie St. Hilaire, probably Dark Broly. Boy, he gave me the work. I misplayed in our matchup, giving me the loss in game 3.
That was your only loss today?
That was my only loss today.
And you messed mine up in top 8, bro.
Yeah. And then, then I moved forward to playing the Mecha right after that. Another one of my teammates. The matchup with Invoker and Mecha is just
Damn, you
so
know who knocked out Jonathan, bro?
Yeah, it's just so grossly Invoker's favor. We went 99-1. So I beat Jonathan. Then I went on into another Mecha matchup. And like I said, the matchup's just free, so I took it down at going in the top. As I slid into top, I played against Dark Broly. I learned from my mistakes versus Eddie, and I stopped attacking the leader. And
bro, I was so mad when you... I'm about to cut that out the video, man.
I took the victory versus the 2-0 Dark Broly. And then I went on into Mecha for top 8, and I think, or maybe, no, it was Dark Broly in top 8.
Dark Broly, it's me.
I rematched against my teammate
And you gave me the Swift tool, man.
With my newfound knowledge, I 2-0 Eddie.
That was savage.
And then I went on to top 4 versus Mecha. Like I said, that match is free. And then
hold on. I gotta talk about the Mecha matchup. He went for a lethalon. You had 1 life. He went to 95 lethal on the unison. There was no interaction. What did you do, man?
I threw a bunch of 10Ks at him to reach 100.
This guy went to 100K in an Invoker. That man was sick, bro. Bro, I'm done. I'm done.
And then I went into the finals versus my friend Marcel Russell.
You know what we said? We said in the finals, you watched Dragon Ball Super, right?
Yeah.
It's like he was Khalifa and Goku over the UI. Go ahead, bro.
And I 2-0 Marcel for the win in top finals. So
damn. You told everyone today, pretty much.
I did, yeah, except for one Dark Broly player who I learned from.
And then he got mine.
Yeah. If you're losing and you're not learning, it's not worth it. Yeah. So yeah. So we've been over this leader many times. It's the only good Surge leader in my opinion left. It's the Red Blue Son Goku Surge leader. It's got the activate battle. Once per battle, you can combo with an extra card in your hand and draw a card, essentially giving you a extra card version of Hercule. And then it's Awakened Surge. You can put 1 red card and 1 blue card underneath to flip this card over, draw 3 cards, and untap 1 energy. I say it in every video, but try to awaken the last possible moment in this deck. The moment you awaken, you no longer draw. Instead, now you have this activate main battle. Once per turn, if your life is at 5 or less, and you control Universe 7, you may draw a card, peek at your opponent's hand, and rip out any battle card that's 35k or less, or any extra card. This ability is crucial when you're going for game. And then, of course, the second effect that saves you most of the time, you can detach material, add any combination of any 3 different name multicolor cards, extra cards from your drop and or warp to your hand. Yeah, there's not much more I can say about this leader. You can use your warp and drop as a toolbox, and we're just going to slide on. Of course, the deck hasn't changed. We do play the 1 Apex power. I've won 0 games with this attack today. A lot of times you use this effect as a upgraded Fu Shrouded Mystery to turn off all your opponent's responses and then go for game on that same move. And you can see that in the finals match versus Marcel Russell. We also have a...
He said, I know.
And then we play 2 copies of Ultra Instinct Son Goku Energy Explosion. This is a card a lot of players are still playing at 3. I still think that's wrong, especially in a format that's so fast. A lot of these leaders take themselves to 4. The only reason why you would need a second copy of this is if you want to burn your opponent from 8 to 0. But like I said, most of the decks today now just go to 4 on their own. And you can most of the time just get away with charging 1 or discarding 1, just finding the second. Oftentimes not, if you are going to go with the 2 copy, the first one you find, just keep in the back of your hand and just play as if you're down a card, and now you have your win con for the rest of the game. Super amazing card. We have the 4 copies of Son Goku Rival Seeker. This card is absolutely ridiculous at 4. I don't know why I ever played it at less. This card's a 0 for 10 combo as long as you have a red-blue multicolor extra card in your drop area, which is amazing. On starting turn 5, once you play it, every turn you can pick up 2 multicolor extra cards of the same name if you'd like from your warp to your hand. And then if you would like, you may play the 6 shop on top of it, allowing you to reset the 3 energy that was cost for this and go for your game-ending play. If you don't have this in hand, it makes a lot of sense on turn 5 just to play this to add defense back. Alternative uses. And then, of course, we still have the 3 copies of Invoker Vegeta. I like this card less and less every time I play this deck. I know the deck is called Invoker, but we're really just relying on the amazing spells that rely on the deck. But in the matches where this is good, i.e. Mecha Frieza and Dark Broly, this card's a god. We still only play 3 because we only need to see it by turn 3 or 4. And then in the matches where it's bad, we don't want to see it at all. And most of the times we end up charging this card. And then, of course, we still have the 4 beer super combos. I've said it in a couple videos before, but Whis is an alternative to this card. I never got that Whis from that guy. Whis is a really great alternative to this card, especially versus Red Broly. There's some cool tricks you can play with Whis if you look into it. But as a Beerus, it's a 0 for 10 super combo. You can use it anytime during the game. It allows for your cooler arrival play. And then it also, when you ult out with your 6-drop to reset energy, wherever the 6-drop is, you can choose Beerus as one of your red-blue multicolor energy to come back, giving it a bit more application. And then we still play 2 cooler at the behest of my buddy Eddie St. Hilaire. It is still one of the best anti-aggro cards in the game versus some of these matchups. Yeah, a lot of these side deck cards, like the Sun Gohan from Mono Block, or like the little Goku from Mono Block, that like punish you for using counter spells or untapping energy. Cooler just gets rid of them.
Both of them.
Yeah, he crushes it and he ignores barrier. So that's the main reason why we still play this. There's like there's a 1% chance of beating Red Broly if you see this card early on, but like it's really just there to like get rid of side deck cards. And then you might ask why we still play in the main. Well, versus some of the other matchups like Mecha Frieza, this still hits 8s, so they don't actually connect. Versus Dark Broly, if you combo out with a super combo into Cooler, their 30k actually does not connect. So it has a lot of other extra application. Plus it can challenge unisons later on. We still play a full 12 set of the fetch cards.
How's your testing with the demonic wave? I know you said you're gonna test with it.
I did. I tested with the demonic wave, and it was really cool. You could speed through the deck, and you can make the deck a lot more consistent. But you sped up to nothing.
Yeah.
the demonic wave. The deck has no clapback, so there's no point in flying through your deck.
Okay.
A lot of times when I'm playing this deck, my last turn I'm almost decking out. Okay. So like the extra 4 searches wasn't that great. Plus the demonic wave was literally pointless.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, it did nothing except was tilting.
Yeah. Otherwise, these cards are just, I mean, I don't have to explain these. They're amazing.
They're amazing.
Yeah. We're still playing 2 copies of wearing this together. This actually, I was testing this at 1 because Red Broly kept pushing my stuff in, and so did Dark Broly. But then Mecha Frieza came out, and I wanted to ensure my matchup versus Turles and Mecha Frieza, and Green Gotenks should have come up. So this card does come up very often versus those decks. Versus other decks like Dark Broly, it does have a niche use where like you can clear off the Mecha Cabras, or if they play the Sun Gohan free play card, you can clear that off with this card. It's definitely a card I side out versus Red Broly and occasionally versus Dark Broly. Also with the introduction of the OG Green Broly deck to this game with the heavy hand control, I was really concerned walking this event that I'd get hand control out of the game. And this card, yeah, you can't lose the hand control with this card. Just 1 copy of this card you can't lose.
They take 2 cards.
Yeah.
You only played 2?
Yeah, I've always
what the?
I've only played 2 copies of Sleeping Boy Technique.
This man savaged me today.
This is just a card you cannot resolve that much in a game.
I'm thinking he played at least 3 or 4. What? How you only played what?
Alright. So the reason why we only play 2 copies of this card's not live until turn 3, right? Yeah. Regardless, it like in a perfect world, you get Vegeta down, you have a Beerus Super Combo and a Bean, and now you have access to this card. So that's a 4-card combo to make 1 copy of this card live. The other world where it's live on 3 is if you don't play Vegeta, now it's live. In either scenario, you're only resolving 1 that turn and maybe a 2nd the next turn. And if you really need that 2nd one, you can always just use your leader effect to pick it back up to resolve it. This is definitely one of the MVPs of the deck. A lot of people like to go in with battle cards even and when they think you're tapped out or you're like low energy and you can't get out, especially without the Vegeta. Combination attack, it just gets you out of those scenarios. It gets rid of monkeys, it gets rid of the whole Turles engine outside of the leader. Yeah, it gets rid. In Dark Broly, it gets rid of the Demigra, it like removes it from the field if they play it. And then, of course, in Red Broly, it gives you that, like, it's part of that 1% chance of victory where you can return the 30k as it's swinging at you. The fact that it's a multicolor extra card is why we really play it, and when you do have Invoker out, it's a 0 energy bouncer card. This hasn't changed. D-Magic's still the best negate in the game. A lot of Invoker players.
Coming out, we will be closed in 15 minutes.
A lot of Invoker players are cutting Bean down to 2 or 3. I just don't see how you can do that in this deck. It's a deck that thrives and just lives or dies on untapped.
You used three on your winning turn.
Yeah,
that was insane.
And you can just do so many creative things with this card. And if you just can't figure something out to do with this card, just have it in your deck as a mono blue charge for your turn with a power arena, and then like cycle it if you really need to.
Yeah.
But you can just pull wins out of your butt with this card otherwise. And of course we have the 4 TOP. Not much to say about this card. You need to open this card no matter what game you're going into. Doesn't matter what match you're going to. Reboot Gohan, Red Broly, Majin Vegeta. It doesn't matter how early they swing. Without this card, if you're tapping a blue or leaving a blue up just to negate and then playing this the next turn, you might as well have just thrown away your turn 1 and your turn 2, because then now you're going to tap out on turn 2 and now you have a top. So it's better just to play this turn 1. For the mulligan for this deck, a lot of times if I don't have this card at all, I just mulligan all 6. There's like a 70-something% chance to see this card every 6 card hand. And then of course we have the MVP for today, because we expected to see a lot of Dark Broly, Mecha Frieza, and
Bro, I never had a chance, bro.
And we just play 4 copies of Violent Rays. This is our only way to survive this meta.
Yep.
Obviously this shuts down Dark Broly. You can start Violent Raising from turns 2 through 5 and they're dead. By the time you reach 5, they're dead. So you just need 1 for each turn. Same with Red Broly. This contributes to the 1% chance of victory versus that deck. Obviously, they keep chopping away your hand, so discarding a card is not ideal. And then versus Mecha has applications stopping the monkeys or the arrival that they play. And final word of note, I don't play Topo at all because I think that card is terrible. It costs 2 energy to cost. You have to discard a card, and it can be interacted with Koitsukai, with God Stealing Technique. It's just everything in the Super Kamehameha, and then now you just lost if you committed 2 energy and a card to
for
Topo.
nothing.
Yeah, for nothing. So instead we decided to commit to this Violent Rays, and this worked out beautifully this week. Beautifully. Yeah. In the sideboard, we have 1 more copy of Cooler. So siding between games 2 and 3, I have to check if my opponent is playing those 1-drop counterplays, or 1-drop anti-counterplays. And if they are, then this 3rd copy of Cooler will come in to make sure I don't just throw away a game to those cards. This also is my win con versus Red Broly. Versus Red Broly, you kind of have to side out. Yeah, you side out your Apex and you side out your 6-drops, and you just try to kill them through Coolers. It's embarrassing. And then Instinctive Reprisal is my 1 copy side deck card. I don't really expect Reboot Gohan to be in the meta anymore, but I was super wrong as it made top. And this is one of our early game like negate answers to Reboot Gohan. Plus we can pick it back up with our leader if we need to for an extra negate. It has less application now that VJX is no longer really in the meta.
What'd you say? Say that again?
No, yet. In the meta. When it comes back though, Instinctive will be great again. This is a card I haven't played in this deck in a long time. 2 copies of Tyranny's Cost. With the OG Broly, Green Broly coming in with hand control, this was another way to dig yourself out of hand control. Plus decks like Mecha Frieza and Dark Broly end up having like 13 guard hands very often post-awakening. This will punish that effect. And those matchups are a lot slower, so you can afford to use this card. This is another tech I had for Red Broly.
What?
Yeah.
You had both balls in here?
Yeah. This leader being a multicolored leader allows you access to some really cool techs. Being a multicolored blue leader, specifically, this will let you play Absolute Release Ball. You can sparking this effect when they ult out the Piccolo, and instead of playing their 2 game enders, they'll just return it into hand, and you'll get to untap an energy. So you get to sparking, untap an energy, and prevent them from killing you. This thing is amazing. Worst case scenario, if you see 2 of them in the opening, you can charge 1 for top and then recycle 1, yeah. And then to join that pair, we have the pair of Beerus Balls. This is,
oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
This is my anti-green tech. Green has to kill this deck before turn 5 because of this card. They can no longer outplay the burn, short of like Mechikabra or calling Son Goku 3. When you play Rival Seeker on turn 5 and they respond with Frieza, you just respond with this. And suddenly the Frieza's gone, they can't counterplay anymore, and you just kill them from there on out. Versus some other matchups, like super wide aggro matchups, this has early applications as it does being your leader after you use it on your opponent's turn. Otherwise, you really just use it for green. Unexpected Turn was another option versus Red Broly. You're going to see me say that a lot, because that deck is...
Worst matchup.
Yeah, it's impossible to win that matchup almost. This gives you an out versus Red Broly. It has some application versus Dark Broly. Since you're Violent Raising a lot on your turn, or on your opponent's turn, they end up just building a huge board of like Mechikabras and like Son Gohans and like 6-drops, and then when their next big thing comes in, you can warp all the Mechikabras in one go and prevent the one big thing from coming in from 1 energy. Also, worst case scenario, it is an extra card, so your frontside leader can just cycle it away if it's just really dead at the moment. This is another card I play mainly just to beat rogue matchups. The deck already is naturally fit to beat all rogue matchups, but any kind of slower matchups such as Shenron, Mecha, Frieza, and sometimes Dark Broly if I'm on the play, you can hit your turn 3. They're gonna call Mecha Cabra. They're gonna call Vegeta level 3 drop, and you just play this instead. Get the extra draw. You can control what you're drawing with your tournament power, making this such a niche card to play in the deck. Obviously, you can't -5. I've talked about this card a million times. Gives you an extra attack. And then if anybody has these in foil, I am looking for these Unending Awakenings.
You just got 420, dude?
Yeah.
This is...
They don't seem to exist, but this card is one of my favorite cards. It is a Red Saiyan leader, and since our leader is like a 15k base,
20.
yeah, every time you beam this leader, it just becomes so much harder to get over this leader. So a negate equipped with a beam just seemed to be a perfect card for this deck. It's super good versus stuff like White and stuff like Turles, some Gohan, Reboot Gohan. You can even play it versus like Red Broly because like you can negate their crit attack and now their smaller dudes can't hit your leader. Here's just another attack I tried versus. And this card came in like so often today that if I weren't playing 4 Violent Raids, I considered even maining a couple copies of this.
Because they're common, dude.
Yeah, and they're just so sweet. But yeah, that's the entire deck list. Super fun event. I hope you guys enjoy. If you guys are looking to play Invoker, definitely put in the time to practice. It's not a pick up and play.
Say it again.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, man. Looking forward to see you in March at the Invitational. All right, you want to give it a shout out, bro?
Oh, I mean, yeah. Not trying to.
Go ahead, bro.
Don't put it like that. But anyway, just join Zeno Black Market, guys.
All right, there you go, B.
I'm trying to be modest.
Oh, damn.